Hello and welcome back. So here we are again for our drawing phase. This time we're going to be drawing the clothing of our character. We first looked for references for poses, right? So now it was time to look for some references for clothing. So I spared you from looking at me looking for references, since that takes quite some time. Especially, I feel that finding references for clothing, especially if you had something in mind already, can be quite hard because you want something very specific and then you can't find it. So I have here a few. And when I first thought about Jonah, my character, I think I saw a picture of a poncho or a character using some kind of cape, poncho cape. And I don't know, I really like the idea of wearing a poncho, so I started drawing Jonah in that. So I kind of want to incorporate that in my character. So we're going to do that. So I have here two images of a poncho that I have as a guide. Well, I want him to wear comfortable clothing, right? I mean, he's always running around, he'll be fishing, he'll be on the lake a lot. So the poncho is mostly for when the days get a bit colder. So he'll probably have a tank top below that, but I like that the poncho is a thing of his, so I want him to be wearing that. And then for the bottoms, I thought of some kind of loose, very loose and a bit longer shorts. So like these ones here, so that if he wants, he can roll them up if he wants to go into the river. If not, they are very loose and the fabric is quite thin as well. So if it gets wet, it's fine as well. So that's kind of the look I was looking for. So I have these images. I have this other poncho here. It has some fringes. I'm not sure I want to incorporate that, but we'll try it. So that's why I have this picture here. So now I'm going to make this one a bit smaller and keep it here so that I can go back to and look at it whenever I feel the need to. And now we're going to start drawing on top of our line. So I'm going to add some transparency here so it doesn't get too confusing. My pencil as always, and we're going to start with the poncho. So the pose that we have can be quite complicated, but we can do this. I'm going to start drawing. I want poncho to be quite big on him. I want it to have to go up to the neck. All right, something like this, going this way. And here there's a bit of a sleeve as well. We can see a little bit, but the elbow comes sticking out. So I think I like this. Very simple shape. I like it. So when coming up for the clothing of your character, it's important to know in which setting they are so that the clothing makes sense. So for example, if you decide to make a character that is a knight, then maybe you want to draw them in some armor and with a weapon or two, I don't know. Even if you don't want to draw armor, you want to draw clothing that usually goes underneath armors or something very simple and that is easy to wear and comfortable. I don't know, let's see what else. If you're drawing a princess or someone from a noble family, then maybe you want to go for a very exuberant dress, right? So with lots of details, the hairdo with some laces as well and bows, things like that. So it's very important to think about the setting of your character and also the personality, right? It's good to think about these things. That's why we try to figure out who our character is before coming up with all the rest. And don't worry, drawing the clothing might sometimes be a bit, or coming up with the ideas for the clothing can be a bit hard, but you'll get there. Even if you don't have an idea of how you want your character to dress, for example, I wanted Jonah to be in the poncho, right? I had that idea of the outfit right away. But if you don't, that's fine, don't worry. But imagine just think only about the setting of your character. So like I said, do they live in modern times? Then go look for the fashion right now. Go look for pictures of fashion that is used right now. Go to stores or look for catalogs, and you'll find something that you like. Does your character lives in the 90s or the 80s? Then you'll want to look for outfits from that time. Does your character lives in a medieval or fantasy world? Then go look for references from those times or settings, and you'll see that you'll find something that you like. Feel free to draw your character in different outfits. This is actually something I like to sometimes. I pick a character of mine, I find an outfit on Pinterest, for example, and I think, you know what, I want to draw my character in that. Even if my character doesn't live in my settings, it's kind of a, let's imagine if my character lived in the 90s, for example, and I will find an outfit that I think fits them, and I'll draw them in them. It's really fun to do. So just look for outfits that you like and you'd like to see your character in, and you'll see that from then you'll find something. There's so much stuff around. You can even, I don't know, if there's an outfit that you really like to use of yours, take pictures in that outfit and try to use that in your character. You might find something that you really like and it might fit your character. Just be creative with it. And again, don't stick with the first choice. Try many things. Try to draw your character in different outfits until you find one that is perfect. That will be the default outfit for your character, but you'll also have many other options to draw your character in. So it's a win-win, in my opinion, to draw your character in many outfits. So, as I said, I want very loose shorts, and they are a bit longer than usual. I also wanted them to look, they're not new, so I'm going to add a few seams here. So they look like they've been rearranged more than once, because he's always playing around, right? So it's more than natural that the clothes are going to be in ruins. So, okay, I think this is it. Very simple. Like I said, I want it to be very simple. So I'm going just to try the fringe like we talked about. But I feel like the fringe is for a more winter setting, so it's a kind of fabric that, or texture that is very thick. For example, this poncho here is made of wool, right? So I don't think I want the poncho to look that thick and wintry. Like I said, I think my character lives in a very tempered place, so I think the poncho is good. It's not very thick, but it's not very thin either, so it's good for those days that's starting to get a bit chilly, but not too much, so it's perfect. I might want to add another layer, maybe. Like there's 2 layers of poncho. I might like that. Yeah, I might do that. So this way. I also kind of want some buttons on the front, but since we don't see it here, I'll have to leave that for later, so I'll try to not forget to add that kind of detail. But for now, I think we are mostly done with our outfit. So again, it's time to draw the final lines, and when we're done with the final lines, I'm going to erase all the lines inside the outfit because we don't see them, right? So again, I'm going to pick up here my pen in black, and now I'm just going to redraw my lines so they look cleaner. Also, don't be afraid to add a lot of details to your character's outfits. I usually like to keep things simple, but if you've seen some of my characters, for example, Jean, I decided to still add lots of decoration to her sleeves and to her coat. She has potions all around her, and the same goes for Bryn. I also decided to to go for a lot of jewelry that she's wearing. So I think this one, Jonah here, is the simple character I've come up to in a while, because I'm always thinking, okay, I'm going to keep things simple, I'm not going to add a lot of details, and then I go and I add a lot of details. So yeah, this time I think I managed to keep things simple. And it makes sense for the character, right? I mean, he's from a fishing village. I don't imagine that they have, the families that live there, they don't have a lot of money, so they'll have to keep things simple. They are working, they are fishing all the time, so they cannot really afford to have fancy clothing, right? So I tried to incorporate that in his outfit and his design in general. But if you're drawing a very exuberant character, then it does make sense to have, for them to have lots of details, right? Usually, for example, in the case of Bryn or Brynris, she loves jewelry. She just loves shiny things, right? So she'll be wearing lots of jewelry all the time. Everything will be golden and with pretty jewels and colorful jewels. So I had to do it, even though I like to keep things simple. And in a way, her design is still quite simple, but there's quite a lot of detail as well. So it's all a matter of knowing your character and knowing how exuberant they will be or how simple. I think I'm going to repeat here this, because I think this side of the shorts is a bit shorter than the other side. Again, when doing final lines, don't be too frustrated if you feel like you're repeating your lines a lot. It's normal, I do it all the time, as you can see, until I'm happy with the line I have. I'm going to erase these lines here. Okay, I'm sorry, I had to concentrate a bit there, so I stopped speaking a little bit. So now I'm going to add here some tiny details, and I added here this patch right here. So let me hide the sketch and see how it looks. Yeah, I like it. Shorts might be a little bit too long, but I can fix that very quickly. Because it's running, right? So the shorts are also going with the movement. So that means when he is standing still, the shorts will become longer because they are going with the movement. So they should look a bit shorter than they do. But I think this is it for now. So now I'm going to erase these lines here underneath. Since I'm using Clip Studio, so since I'm using a vector layer for my line art, the eraser has this vector eraser option. That means that we'll erase big chunks of lines at a time instead of me having to go and erasing everything manually. This really helps, makes things a bit faster. And also a good thing of using vector erasers is that if you want to resize your drawings, your lines, you won't lose any quality by doing so. So if you're using Clip Studio, I really recommend doing that. So here we are. I'm very happy with the results. I really like how the outfit looks right now. So I hope you had fun. I hope you did try a lot of outfits. Feel free to post them so I can see them. And when you're done, choose one. If you did more than one outfit, choose one that you think that you like the most or that you think fits the character better. And then we're going to talk about colors and we're going to color our character. So I'll see you there. Bye bye.